Welcome to this episode of the She Scales podcast, where today we're going to be looking at lessons about launching that we can learn from Beyoncé, the queen, the undisputed, the untouchable Beyoncé. Now, whether you like her or whether you don't, you cannot not give the woman her flowers. Like the genius, the artistry, the planning, the organization, like she's the undisputed boss of business, not just music. And I'm not sure if this is completely correct, but I believe she's the highest earning female that's solely built her billions just from music. Is that right? Or is it Taylor? I think Taylor's number one, and then it's Beyonce. But people like Rihanna, who started in music and then built their brand in products, that's how they've amassed their billions. So yes, they've accrued a massive net worth now, but it's because they used music just to build their audience, but it was products that they built their billions. Whereas Beyonce has built all of her millions or billions or however much it is solely from music and from orchestrated launches throughout her career. The planning, the artistry, the geniusness, like it's no wonder her fans go freaking crazy. And so this is a completely unplanned episode. I'm not doing any notes. I've not got anything written down. I'm freestyling this because I've just been watching on TikTok all of the things coming out from the NFL halftime show that aired on Christmas Day in Texas. I didn't even know this thing was happening. Same with most things that go viral on TikTok. You don't even know it's happening, but suddenly it's like world news. And this is why I want to come and talk about this today, because there's so much that can be learned about launching from the way that this queen operates. She will disappear. Adele also does this. Disappear for half a year, leave her fans going like, where is she? What's going on? And leave them in the dark for a little bit. And then boom, come back and drop something and it spread like wildfire. So I want to like analyze a little bit what's happened over, because this is not just the show. It's never just a show. Even though the show is freaking incredible, even though the show is an entire concert in itself, even though the show is possibly one of the best shows that I've ever seen of any kind of Super Bowl or any similar sort of concert like that, like the level of planning that has gone into this, the detail, the singing, the dancing, the whole orchestration that went into that level of performance, like next level. Whether you like her or whether you don't, you cannot dispute that that performance was freaking incredible and required planning and perfection down to seconds. There was no room for mistakes. She needed to be here, there, like, you know, take a towel and dab her face, have one sip of water, and then boom, into the next dance break. Like, it's incredible to watch the level of artistry that happened in those 13 minutes. But then, did you see what immediately happened after? So I'm watching these videos and I'm like, wow, like the production here. As an event host myself, I have a whole new appreciation for what comes into staff, lighting, production, audio, people, places. Like, it's a whole thing. And that's just me hosting events for, at the moment, 30 people, will be hundreds and thousands in the future. But I appreciate the work that goes in behind the scenes. Now, when we're looking at this event, obviously all eyes, PS, to launch it on Christmas Day? I know it's a Christmas Day special, but Beyonce hasn't just thought, I'm just going to go all out and give them something to watch at a time when lots of people are going to be in front of the TV. Because it's never just that simple. She is a businesswoman before she is a singer. So she has looked at this opportunity and been like, if I'm going to perform, PS, there's also, I know there's lots of PSs here, but as I said, I'm freestyling, there's thoughts coming in. We also know that she's got a bit of an image cleaning up to do after there's been quite a lot of less than desirable press, to put it mildly, about her family recently, particularly her partner. And so there's, before any new music or anything that could come to sort of redeem the brand, she has got that going on in the background. So there needs to be something big that is all her, that pulls all eyes away from Jay-Z or any of the mess or headlines that he's involved in. And so this wasn't just a, let me give people something fun to watch. It's we need something big and like really remind the world about everything that she's accomplished, like why she is number one. So there's that. You've got the captive audience of Christmas Day. Lots of people are going to be at home. TVs are going to be on in the background for everything. People are going to have their Christmas dinner and then be sat vegging in front of the TV. You've got a massive captive audience, more so than probably any other day of the year. So timing is everything. She could have picked any show, but she chose this one. I understand that the main halftime show is actually in February. But if she had waited till February, that's another 2 months. She's obviously got a reason why she was like, no, it has to be now. We've got Christmas period. There's the whole thing going on with Jay-Z just in the last month or so. And so we need public cleanup image, but also the timing of so many people being at home. This is the perfect opportunity. And also, nobody else would launch on Christmas freaking Day. I don't want to say this to the whole coaching industry, who will say, like, launching is dead. No, it's freaking not. And if the Queen can launch something on Christmas Day, which maybe you're all from different backgrounds, religions, so you might have your own opinions on what is like a good day to launch, a bad day to launch, or what is going to be popular or really unpopular. I would have said Christmas Day probably isn't the most obvious choice as a launch day, to be honest. But Beyonce has gone, no, it's going to be that day because nobody else will. I'm not going to be fighting for any attention. It's going to be, I've got a captive audience and no one else will be launching during that time. Like, it's freaking genius. So to anybody that says either launching is dead or don't launch during Christmas, Beyonce has just floored that argument. She's just thrown it right out the window. But some other lessons about launching here, because right after the performance, we see the reels, the TikToks, the videos dropping a date, which was it the 14th? The 11th or the 14th, can't remember the exact date, but it's of January, alluding to something new coming out. So we can reasonably assume there's a new album coming out, or maybe this is the Netflix special of this performance. There's something coming in January. So this whole performance was not just about the performance, it was a teaser for something that is coming in January. This performance was the warm-up for what's coming. Like, that in itself, hats off to you. If you can do something that incredible and that is the warm-up, think about how incredible the thing is that's coming. And here's where all the business lessons are coming through to you, is when you do a launch event, make it so freaking incredible that it's like such a no-brainer for people, and they're marking in their calendars what the thing is and when this thing is coming available, because they're so excited for it, because you've done the work to warm up your audience to let them know something incredible is coming. So many people skip this in their launch phase, or don't give people enough time, or don't do enough warm-up, or bravely or boldly go, oh, my offer's available, here it is, and just drop it with no launch whatsoever, and then wonder why people aren't flocking to buy. If people, it baffles me why people don't give their all to launches, which is why I wanted to come and talk about this today, because you've got Beyonce putting on an entire production for her launch event, and that's not the thing that she's selling. The thing, we're not even sure what that thing is yet. Maybe it's an album, maybe it's something new. All we know is the date. It's literally a teaser. This was the launch vehicle, her launch event, to raise awareness and excitement that something is coming. You need to take a little bit more out of Beyonce's book. Imagine if you took a leaf out of that book and thought, what would my launch event be that it is primed to build excitement, build hype, build my email list and welcome in my people, grow my community right before I launch something that is exactly something that they want, but I have to let them know in advance that something is coming. The amount of people who just drop something with very little warm-up, very little notice, very little hype on social media, and then wonder why it falls flat. Like, it is your duty to give your audience enough warm-up so that they know what's coming. So take your lessons from Beyonce's book. This was only her launch event, and then she's immediately dropped something that then is going viral on social media. So all of her people are getting excited, and let's be honest, I wouldn't consider myself someone who is in the beehive. I'm not like a die-hard fan. But because her fans have been sharing so much stuff from this event, that's how it's come into my sphere of awareness. This is why warm-up is so important, is that your core people will know straight away, and they'll be like hot, excited, ready to buy. But even the people on the second and third layers who maybe aren't in your core audience, or aren't like in your community, but they watch what you do, or they're not on your email list, but they watch from the sidelines and they like what you do, they can also get the message that something is coming by your core fans getting excited about it and telling their friends about it. So it's not just you sending out emails to all the people that are already in your world. This is giving yourself the chance to get people in that second, third, and fourth ripple away from you, aware that something is coming that is going to be either beneficial to them, is going to be exciting to them, could be the perfect fit for them, could be something that they want to start saving for now. If you go read the comments of these TikToks that are already going viral, that only has the date, it's like a couple of seconds clip and it just says the date and that is it. It gives nothing. And yet there's fans in the comments saying, don't have the money right now, but don't worry, I'll find it. And this is the thing, it's given people a few weeks notice to let them know something is coming, and her diehard fans are already like, whatever it costs, I'll be there. This is the thing. This is why launching is so important. I really want to like digest these lessons with you, because you're not doing yourself or your audience a favor or any kind of service or any kind of love or appreciation by either skipping out on launching or skipping parts or like skipping the whole thing altogether. Nobody can skip launching and it go well. The only people, like, launching is it's a marketing principle that any time you're bringing something out, whether it's music, whether it's a book, whether it's a podcast, whether it's a concert tickets, whether it's a movie, whether it's a new product or system or anything that you're bringing out across any area of business, there is always a warm-up before the thing is released, because that's just a classic area of business. It's common sense. You're going to let people know something's coming before it's coming. Think about Hollywood movies. There's weeks, if not months, of trailers to get people excited and let them know when the date is of when this thing is coming out, so that there can be enough marketing in all the major cities, so that people, no matter which social media or where they consume material for, they're going to see this message, whether it's coming up on their social media in ads, whether it's footage being shared, whether it's billboards in the city that they're in. Like, the effort that goes into promo before the release of a product is so that all of the people who this product would be a good fit for can have a chance to know that it's coming, no matter where they are or what they're doing or how busy they are in their life. Somehow you've done your best effort to get your message in front of them so that they can be aware of when your thing is coming out. So giving yourself that good enough amount of promo period to let people know and give them enough awareness. Because let's be honest, the only people who have ever, to my knowledge, released a product with no launch whatsoever are, in fact, Beyoncé, and I believe Taylor's done it as well. I'm not like a diehard Swiftie, so I'm not exactly sure, but I believe that they've both released albums with no warm-up whatsoever and have just dropped it. And the crowd's gone wild. However, I just want to point out to you, this is Beyoncé and Taylor Swift. They're not even just like at the top of their industry. They're so far above everybody else and every other competitor. They're in an industry and league of their own. So for all of you normal folk, all of us normal folk, like, you cannot just drop something and expect people to be ready and expect the global crowd to go wild, because you're not Taylor or Beyoncé, which is absolutely fine. Of course, you're growing to be the peak of your industry. But right now, don't do yourself the disservice of skipping out on a promo period that could help bring so many more people into your world. You see Beyoncé and Taylor drop stuff now with no warning, but that's not how they got to where they are. You see their step 20, but you're not seeing all the steps before. Beyoncé, I can't speak too much on Taylor, although I will say the Eras tour, again, is like a masterpiece in business, because she had the classic low ticket, mid ticket, high ticket. So I'm trying to think, I've seen this on socials, I'm trying to think what it was, but it was the high ticket was the ticket prices. The mid-ticket was it all the books and DVD or something that she sold off the back of it? I'm trying to think now. The low ticket was the fact that she had all of the tour filmed and then re-released on Netflix or subscription platforms. So it didn't matter either what budget size you were, or if you wanted to consume at multiple levels, like you wanted to go to the event and then re-consume it. There was something at a low, mid and high ticket, all from doing one tour, but all repurposing the content into different ways and then selling it in different ways. Genius. Now I've lost the trail of thought. Coming back into Beyonce's genius, as she has scaled over the years to where she's at now. So yes, she can drop an album out of nowhere and crowd goes wild and it still go viral and it still go like multi-platinum or whatever it is. But you're seeing now her go back to the roots of, do you know what, I'm going to do tried and trusted of what works. I'm going to bring home basically another homecoming, because that went viral and it was all over Netflix and all over the things, and do a whole new production, and that just be the warm-up for what's coming. Like, she's staying true to what works for her and is leveraging massive audience, enough notice, an otherwise quiet marketing period for music. So in the field that she's in competitors with, very big in quotation marks there, because she has no competitors. But you see what I mean? She's giving people enough warm up before this thing comes out in January, whatever this thing is, so that everybody can get super excited. So I wanted to share some of these lessons with you. What can you be doing now to be prepping stuff for your Q1 launches? Where have you been skipping out on giving people enough either time, enough chances to digest the message, and enough chance, because let's be honest, you probably don't have Beyonce's level of reach on social media or her level of audience, because again, this is Beyonce. So what can you be doing now to grow your audience? What can you be doing now to get your content in front of more eyeballs before you release this product? What can you be doing now to get your most loyal people chatting to their people about this thing that's coming out and sharing their excitement either on social media or in behind the scenes conversations, sharing it with their friends, pulling in other people who this offer also might be a good fit for? How can you get your stuff further out there? Now, if you've got like a really hot audience and people are buying all the time and they move very quickly, awesome, your promo period can be smaller, which is why for Beyonce it's only 2 weeks. Whereas if you are finding that either you've got a small audience right now or they're a little bit colder and a little bit slower to move, then allow yourself a longer promo period so that you've got time both to warm your existing audience up, but also grow it with new people as well. So that you've got that, heating things up, building trust with your existing audience, giving them enough time to see the different messaging pieces and really see that this product is going to change their life, as well as building and growing that audience with new people, because you constantly need to be growing your audience, constantly. Like, as much as you can, viral content, so that you can get your message out there to the right people, in front of the right people, because you're constantly going to be having people come through your audience, whether it's people buying and staying in your world, whether it's some people leaving. So there needs to be that constant flow. Now, either you're going to be doing that flow yourself through outbound stuff, and this is where like people are having to do like outreach or sales calls, and either you go and get the people to tell them that this thing is coming and it'd be a good fit for them, or you get really freaking good at content so that your content can be working out for you 24/7 and bringing these people into your audience. As this has happened with Beyonce. I had no idea that she even performed, but because her content is going viral on various different platforms, and then her fans are making content about the content, so it's being covered in so many different angles that it's getting the message out there further and wider before her launch date comes in a couple of weeks. So what can you learn from Beyonce? What can you be doing now for your launch in a few weeks, whether it's like mid-Jan, end of Jan, early Feb, whatever it is that you've got coming out next, whether it's a mastermind, even if it's a low ticket product, but especially for your high ticket products, that you want to be driving a lot of hype, a lot of excitement, and getting people who could be a great fit for this offer highly aware of what the offer is and what the key benefits and key transformations are of this offer. Do yourself the justice of honoring this thing that you've created and giving yourself enough time to warm people up and really fill out this program, fill out this mastermind with dream fit clients, not just any Tom, Dick or Harry or that they'll pay you, or not accepting small group numbers because you could have done more. Don't be so glued